Hello, welcome or welcome back to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Welcome to my Vlogmas-ish part 2 video. It's Sunday the 4th of December and I have a day off. Sundays are my favourite day of the week. I usually give myself permission to stay in my pyjamas and do the things that I want to do. But as per usual, I have a list of things that I really want to do that's longer than my arm, and I'm sure I'm only going to get half of them done. But I've got 3 things on my list that I really do want to do today, and one of them was to come out for a walk. I have not been down to the beach for a couple of weeks. It's just been so crazy busy, and it's a freezing cold day. Apparently the air temperature is 3 degrees, but it feels like -2 because of the wind chill. So I'm wrapped up in all of the wool. I'm not coordinating at all, but I'm warm. That's the main thing. So I'm going to go down to the beach and just enjoy a nice little walk. So that'll be important thing number 1 done, and then I can just have a cozy rest of the day. The other 2 things that I'd like to do is get my footage for part 1 of this Vlogmas-ish series edited and uploaded to the channel. And I'm also hoping to get the Christmas tree up today. If I can get those 3 things done, anything else is a bonus. So yeah, let's get down for a walk and enjoy this cold grey day. Beautiful autumn colours in the park still though. Oh my goodness, it's so cold down here. My eyes are watering, my nose is running. The wind is howling, my hair's all over the place, but so totally worth it. I love it. So I'm gonna have a little wander and then time to head home and get cozy again. So you may have just spotted from that clip you just saw, I am about to drink some rhubarb and custard tea, and I did get myself a new festive mug yesterday. Honestly, Cardiff was hell. If you are someone who loves your Christmas shopping day out, then I'm so glad for you. I just hate being in a busy city at Christmas time. Well, I don't hate it, I like the atmosphere, but I do hate it when I just want to pop out and get one thing, because there's no such thing as popping out on your break when there was so many people in town, so many. Anyway, I got this colour changing mug, not quite as cute as the one I had last year, but quite festive all the same, and it's got a Christmas tree on the back. I feel like Vlogmas is us all watching 50,000 cups of tea or coffee or hot chocolate being made. Everyone does it in their videos, don't they? It's kind of a Vlogmas tradition. Anyway, I'm sure this will probably start changing colour again before I stop chatting. It will cool down and go back to black. I was so happy to start my day with a walk. As you can see, I have not taken off my cosy cowl. It's a pattern by Tammy Gore. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll try and pop it on the screen. And I knit it last year or the year before from a skein of Malabrigo, I think, and some stranded dye works, and also some mohair with a bit of sparkling. It's an old Rowan mohair, and it is chilly today, so I think I'm gonna keep this on because we're doing our best to hold out for putting the heating on in the day, because fuel bills are no joke at the moment. Right, of course I'm up here, I'm going to be opening my advents in a minute, but before I do that I thought I'd catch you up with how I've been doing with some of my projects. So if you watch part 1 of my Vlogmas series, you'll know that I have made myself a list of a bunch of projects that are almost nearish completion, or things that I'd like to try and achieve in December. And the first thing on my list was to finish off the pairs of socks that I've been making that I want to donate to charity. So I did manage to put in the final heel on this pair of socks, and also if you watch part 1 you'll know that I was missing a pair of socks, so I've got those now as well, which were the lovely sort of orangey sunset socks with the yellow heels, toes and cuffs. So I have got 5 pairs of socks to pop in a box, along with some other bits and pieces that I've been making throughout the year, to send off to charity, and hopefully whoever receives those will enjoy a little bit of comfort and warmth. I still have quite a big wheel of socks. I feel like I haven't really made a dent in it, but 5 pairs of socks is a reasonable dent. So I'm going to pop this away for now, and I'll get this back out in the new year probably. So yeah, I'm super happy to have the first project ticked off my list. So I will talk to you, might as well talk to you about the second project that I'd like to tick off my list, and it's another one that I'm really close to finishing. And if you've been watching the channel for a little while, you'll know that over the last couple of months I have been trying to work on finishing my Ultra sweater, which is a pattern by Skeined in It. So I cast this on a couple of years ago, and it's sort of languished for a little while, and I've been knitting it from a combination of my hand spun yarn, which is the contrast colour in the yoke, and some onion nettle yarn. And I have been knitting away. I needed to make a couple of modifications. If you watched the last video where I chatted about this, I ended up with sleeves that were way too long. So these sleeves look tiny. I look like I've got T-Rex arms, but this sweater is so oversized that these are now just about the perfect length. I tried it on the other day, and I feel like I might rip out the cast off and add a couple more rows of rib just to get it to the right length. But also this yarn I know will stretch a tiny bit when I'm blocking it. So yeah, I don't know whether to add those rows now or block it first. I think I might block it first, see how it turns out, and then add the extra rows if I need to. I have now finished knitting the body almost, so this is the next project on my December hit list. I have got this much yarn left, so my ribbing will be however many rows I can get out of this. So far I've done 4 rows of ribbing. My plan, or my aim, was to try and get 15 rows, but I'm not sure if this is 15 rows worth, so I'm just going to keep going until I need to cast off. After I've done the ribbing, I need to fix this neckline. If you watch my video where I was chatting about this, the neckline is just way too high. It's cutting me across the neck. It just doesn't feel comfortable at all. And I had quite a few suggestions under that video, and I think the one that I'm going to go with, which is the idea that I had in mind, is to try an I-cord bind off. So to rip back this tiny little bit of ribbing and do an I-cord. However, my only reservation with that is I do have one other colourwork sweater that had an I-cord bind off, and it rolls over to the point where you can sort of see the inside colourwork, so I might have to have a play around with that. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do if the I-cord doesn't work, to be honest. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So Ultra is next on my December hit list. Okay, yarn swap advent. This is the last package that I have for that swap. The postman did not arrive yesterday with any of the other packages that I know are on the way to me, but it's fine. I will just skip a day tomorrow. I'm at work tomorrow anyway, at Waterstone's work. So yeah, hopefully when I get home from work there might be some packages waiting for me. But I can share with you what I have done so far. So these are the day 1 squares. There were 4 of those. The day 2 squares from the Owl About yarn. Again, there are 4 of those. As you can see, I have not yet joined these. Day 3 was the beautiful hand spun yarn, and I managed to get 2 squares from this. These squares, even though I'm working them on the same hook, have worked out slightly bigger, only by a smidge, and I think that's just because this yarn is a teeny tiny little bit thicker, but it's absolutely fine when I get these crocheted up with the sort of border colour. You won't even be able to tell. So what I'm going to probably do today is try and hunt through my handspun leftovers stash and see if I've got anything that I think might contrast well or complement these 2, and I'll make another 2 handspun squares to add to this particular set. So day 4 from Ruth. Let's check this out. There are so many things in this bag, Ruth. What are you doing? Okay, let's start with the treats, shall we? So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of these lovely Lindt chocolates. So they will be a lovely treat. And actually, once I've stopped recording, I'm going to have one of those while I'm finishing off my cup of tea. There's also, what is this? Cinnamon oil. I wonder if this is for an oil burner. Cute penguins on. Oh, that smells so good. I love those cute penguins on the front. And then the yarn is another special one. It is from Stranded Dye Works and it's the Gingerbread House colourway. This is a fun fact that you may not know. When Jude of Stranded started Stranded, and it's got to be, I'm not even sure how many years ago now, I was their very first customer. And I still have a note somewhere which says thank you for being my first customer. I'm super happy to have some Gingerbread House to add to my crochet blanket. Thank you so much, Ruth, for sharing that precious mini skein. Okay, couldn't wait. Look, my tea is cooling down already. Sorry, mouthful of chocolate. Very rude. Okay, fibre advent time, and before we launch into what's in today's package, let me share with you my progress. I have finished spinning day 1, which is quite exciting. I know we're on day 4 and I've only just finished starting spinning day 1, but hey, I'm busy. And I'm really happy with how these are looking on the spindles, and also just they were a real joy to spin. So what I'm going to do is actually I think I'm going to keep them on my spindles until I am desperate for a new spindle. Spin number 1 is done, and that was the Suffolk merino and mystery fibre. Spin number 2 will now become my priority, and I have been really enjoying. I'm so glad that this thought popped into my head not to wait until I finished one bat before I started the next, because I've been really enjoying spinning for my goal is to spin for 15 minutes on the fibre that I open that day, and then if I have any extra spinning time, to go back to one of the older spins to try and get it finished. So this was the progress that I made on the Cheviot bat, which was day 2, and this is on one of my Alice Savage spindles. This is one I actually won in a fundraiser for Ukraine. This is a really nice sort of spongy bat. I know that doesn't sound very flattering, but I think if you're a spinner and you work with those sort of downy breeds, you'll know what I mean when I say spongy. And it's meant in the best possible way. This will now become my priority in terms of if I have extra spinning time, I'm going to continue to work my way through this. I'm going to try and keep them in order if I can. And then yesterday was the lovely Cotton Candy mystery fibre, which Lisa said she guessed is Corriedale, and I would concur because it feels very much like Corriedale. Corriedale is one of my favourite fibres to spin, and it does feel very much like that. And I made a tiny little bit of progress on that in my 15 minutes yesterday. And I'm spinning this up on my resin spindle, which was from a store called Alchemist Storage on Etsy. They don't always have spindles, but this one is actually a really nice one to spin. It's one of the biggest spindles I have in terms of length, so it can be a little bit unwieldy when I'm not used to it, because a lot of the shafts on my other spindles are a bit shorter, but once I get into the flow of it, I always enjoy spinning on this one. Okay, day 4, let's see what is in the package. Ooh, oh, that looks really fun. That looks really fun. Let me give you a close-up on that before I even look at what is in it. So it's something and sari silk. And I have another one of those lovely caramel toffee chew things. I still haven't eaten the first one. I'm amassing a little basket of treats and teas to enjoy as and when I can, because yeah, being out of the house means I just haven't had the chance to consume all of the lovely treats that have been in my advents so far. I also have some IKEA tea, and I think I had some of this in my advent last year because I remember enjoying this one. Green tea, lemon and pine. And fibre is Hill Radnor. Ah, okay. So this is a fleece that Lisa popped in a suint wash. So you basically fill up your bucket, leave your fleece in there for several weeks in warm weather, hopefully. So this one is still quite lanolin-y. And Lisa did say that she had a couple in the calendar that were like that. And she says, because there's still a bit of lanolin in it, hot wash the skein when you finished your yarn. It also has Scottish blackface, and she says watch out for the black hairs when they come through, so cute. And some sari silk, and I think this is going to make a really fun, interesting yarn. So Hill Radner, Scottish blackface and sari silk, what an interesting blend. Thank you, Lisa. Oh, smells really sheepy as well. Smells good. Advent's opened. I'm going to crack on with my day. I need to stay up here and try and pull the Christmassy things out of the cupboard. I'm not going to film me putting up the Christmas tree this year because you've seen that in previous Vlogmases, and I will show you the tree once it's up, if I can get it done, if I've got the energy for it. It's 5:30 and I've had quite a lazy afternoon since my energetic morning, walking, getting my video uploaded and doing the housework. As you can see, the tree's up, but it's not complete. So I don't know if you do this, but we do this. We've got lots of nice sort of fancier decorations that we've collected over the years that we've lived here. When we first got the tree, we just had these bog standard baubles, which you might be able to see a few hanging. But I haven't yet collected enough sort of fancy decorations, ornaments to decorate the whole tree. So I now decorate the back of the tree, which you can see from outside, with all the bog standard trinkets, ornaments. And then I put the box with the sort of nicer stuff, the fancier stuff, on the front. So I've got as far as decorating the back of the tree. We've pushed it back into the window. And now I need to go back up into the attic and get the other box with the nice decorations in. So I'm not quite there, but almost there. Welcome to my Monday, which is the 5th of December. It's very early in the morning and it's 7:30 and I'm up and I'm dressed. I'm ready to head out the door for a work day in a little while. But I've got my first cup of tea of the day. Nothing fancy, not my advent calendar tea. I am drinking in my Christmas mug. I always start the day, if anyone's interested, with a turmeric tea, turmeric gold from Puka. turmeric's meant to be really good for the joints, and a while ago I started suffering with an old ankle injury from, I twisted my ankle really badly while I was out walking and I put my foot down a rabbit hole, and it's started to get that sort of achy feeling and a little bit in my knee as well. So I decided to start drinking turmeric tea to see if it did any good, and it's actually done me wonders. I have 1 cup in the morning and it's really helped with those sort of slight joint aches that I used to get. Not saying it will be a cure-all for everyone, but it really has helped me. Anyway, I've got my Oaty Bix for breakfast, got my cup of tea, and yesterday a couple of orders came in for Yarn and Yarns, so I'm going to package those up and then I can drop them off at the post office on the way in to my other job. So the reason I'm rambling and telling you this is because a couple of people who obviously follow the channel have placed orders and have sent me a message to say, how are you getting your orders out so quickly when you're also part-time working? Because mostly my orders still go out the next day. And the reason is I get up early, I package up the orders and I get one earlier train than I otherwise would need to, and that gives me enough time to go to the post office in Cardiff, drop off any packages and then head to my work day. So it makes my overall work day a lot longer because I'm doing a bit of Yarn and Yarns work and then my other job, but it means I'm keeping on top of things and it makes me feel less stressed out or less anxious when I know that I'm still keeping up my normal routine with the orders. So orders are all packed and are now nestled in my bag, waiting for me to head out the door. My tea is still kind of warm, always a bonus. And so it's time to open my advents. I don't have a yarn advent to open today. I'm hoping after the strikes at the end of last week that the postman might have a package for me when I get home this evening. But I do have a little bit of a crochet update. If you remember yesterday, I said I was going to search through my handspun leftovers to see if I could find something to pair up with the lovely handspun from Ruth. Well, I didn't have a chance to do that. But this morning, when I went up to grab my fibre advent, 'cause it's in a bag up in the craft attic, I noticed in a corner of the room my bag, my project bag, which had the leftovers in from my spell task wrap, which I made back in July from last year's advent calendar. And I remembered that Ruth had sent a giant skein in that, which I have plenty of leftovers, and it's bugging me because I can't remember the yarn. Oh, I can remember, it's just popped into my head. It's Schiller's Dare yarn. I remember that because I made a hat from that yarn last year. And I thought actually this goes really nicely with the handspun. And as you can see, I've got a partial square here because I was missing a little bit of crochet last night because I'd got into the rhythm of doing a little bit every day, and I had a little bit of the handspun left over after completing the 2 squares, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go as far as I can with the rest of this precious handspun and then I'll join in my handspun or whatever. But actually I think this blue goes really nicely, so I'm going to finish this square with this blue and I'll make one more square entirely of this blue, so I still have a sort of 4 patch from Ruth in my blanket. So I'm happy with that solution, and I'm going to pop this in my bag because I can work on this on the train in this morning. Right, tea advent. So I've already pulled this out of the calendar, and this is one I've not tried before. It's a pina colada, so coconut, pineapple, lemongrass and rose. That sounds really lovely. And then fibre advent. I did start spinning. I'll show you probably tomorrow because I've got a day at home tomorrow and hopefully I'll have time to record in better light. But I did start doing a little bit of spinning on the beautiful Bat with Sari silk yesterday. So I did my 15 minutes of spinning on package number 5. So as always, let's reveal together. Oh, look at that. That's a beautiful lilac-y colour. So I have a Galaxy, yum yum, and then I have some tea from Lipton. It says relax, we all need a bit of that at this time of year. And then this beautiful bat, look at that, gorgeous. So this is Northern Cheviot, Merino, wall neps and BFL locks. Oh, this is going to be fun. Can't wait to get into that later. Right, I need to finish my cuppa and get my bum out the door. It's 2 o'clock and I'm on my lunch break. I'm sat in a little square park in the middle of Cardiff. I was just looking around, it's called St John's Garden, and they've put in this installation for Christmas. You can see the scaffolding, and those little circles are speakers, and they're changing light, and they have some sort of choral music playing through them. So I thought I would share some of that with you when it starts up. I don't think you'll be probably too well be able to see the change of the lights as it's the middle of the day, but hopefully you'll be able to hear some of the music. I noticed on my way in this morning there looked to be quite a nice nativity display set up in the grounds of the church, and I think they had some donkeys there as well in situ, so hope you can hear me over the music. I'm gonna go and check that out before we go back to work.
To be the mother of his precious son. Then the angel visited Joseph, made him feel special too. He wasn't rich or powerful or...
Morning friends, welcome to my Tuesday. It's the 6th of December. It's super early in the morning, so you'll have to forgive me because I haven't been in the shower or anything yet. I need to give my hair a good wash. But it's 5:30 and I'm not usually up this early, but I've been wide awake for an hour and I just can't sleep. I've got lots of things on my mind, not bad things, just I woke up and started thinking about the things I wanted to do today and then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I've been trying for the last hour to drift back off again. No luck, so I figured I might as well get up and get my day started. The good thing about today is, and tomorrow, is I'm at home. So if I do get super tired later, I can have a little cheeky afternoon nap to re-energise myself. I've got a little bit of yarn and yarns work to do today. Before I do the order packing, I thought I might just sit here at my laptop and edit the footage that I've got for this vlog for the last couple of days. And then we'll go through today and round it up, and hopefully I can get it up on YouTube tomorrow. So I'm going to start my day with a little bit of video editing. Okay, so I've changed my mind a little bit because I've just finished editing the footage that I took on Sunday and yesterday, and because I managed to get quite a bit of footage on Sunday and some extras while I was out at work yesterday, the vlog's already quite long and I want to try and keep them under half an hour. So I've decided I'm going to wrap this one up, get it edited and uploaded, and I shall share today's advents and the next couple of days in the next one. So I hope you have enjoyed Vlogmas-ish part 2. Let me know what you've been up to in the last few days. Let's chat in the comments below. I always love to hear from you. And I'll be back again soon, in a few days' time, hopefully, with some more Vlogmas content. So I hope you will join me for the next one. But until we do get to spend time together again, hope you get to do some other things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now. Bye.